Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2575. And our question today is, where was your family when they heard their own voice on a recording? Yes, back in the day, we used to be able to record voices and you heard it back. I mean, how cool was that to hear it for the first time? I'm trying to think the last time I heard my voice recorded. Well, not the last time, the first time. I think we're living in Invercargill, so I was about 5 or 6. And I think we were doing a recording to send to my dad, who was at traffic cop school. He was trying to be a traffic cop in New Zealand with the Ministry of Transport, as it was back then. I think that was the first time I heard the recording. In fact, where was I recently? There was somewhere recently where I heard that recording and I sang my dad a little song on it. I'm trying to remember where I was when I heard that. And I sang him a little song because I miss my dad. But I remember hearing it at the time because we wanted to hear it played back. And that was quite cool to hear that that's my voice. It was so amazing. It was just amazing that I had talked into this microphone thing that my mum held, and then my voice got played back, and it was just sort of like, wow, that's just really cool. It was a few years ago. I would have been, let's see, I was 5 or 6, and I'm going to be 60 this year, so do the math. But yeah, it is an amazing, I remember it being sort of like a wow moment. One of those moments where you go, wow, and you're in awe of what you've heard. But today, hearing ourselves on a recording is completely ordinary. We leave voice messages, we record videos, appear on Zoom calls, create podcasts, and carry devices like our phones capable of recording us everywhere we go. But for earlier generations, hearing their own voice played back to them could have been an extraordinary experience. It was a wow moment. I was in awe. Kind of got a little addicted to it, I think. Think about the first time someone in your family heard their own recorded voice. Perhaps it was recorded on a phonograph, a cylinder, a record, a reel-to-reel tape, cassette, answering machine, home movie, or one of those little portable tape recorders that fascinated everybody when they first appeared. Do I have one of my little... No, I don't have handy a little recording device. I'm just looking real quick. Nope, I don't have one handy. Nope, that's not one. What were they recording? Maybe it was a family gathering, a child's first words, someone singing a favorite song, a message sent to relatives living far away, or simply someone experimenting with a new piece of technology. For military families or people separated by great distances, recorded messages often became precious connections between loved ones. And that's what I remember with recordings that were done, where we got to send recordings to different family members, and they could hear us kids growing up, like to grandparents or to my dad when he was at traffic cop school, being able to send those messages, and you could hear those voices. And then came that strange moment when the recording was played back. Yes, it was very strange. It was sort of like, I said, that's how I sound to others. Did they immediately recognize themselves? No. Did they laugh? No. Were they embarrassed? Nope. Did they insist that they couldn't possibly sound like that? Perhaps everyone gathered around the recorder, listening again and again, because hearing a familiar voice coming out of the machine seemed almost magical. And that's what it was. For me, I remember it being a magical moment, that I had talked into this device and it got played back and I could hear myself talking and singing. And a little shy, a little nervous, but it was like magic. Those old recordings can become some of the most valuable pieces of family history we inherit. I remember going through some stuff at my mother-in-law's place, and we had organized, she had these big lateral filing cabinets, and there was 4 drawers on each one, and one of them I made all of the genealogy records. Anything genealogy related, I put into this one drawer. And there was this large box there that was only about this high and about yay long. And I remember going into that and going, suddenly realizing what it was. And Brad was there at the time. It was before he passed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, Brad, look at this. He goes, what's this? I said, here's your first curls from your first haircut. Here's this from this. Here's this from this. And then there was this little record about yay big. We didn't have anything to play it on, though. and it had on it, and it was recorded in the delivery room of Brad's first cry. We still haven't found anything to listen to it on, but we have this little record about yay big, and it was a recording of Brad's first cry in the delivery room. And I'm just like, we've got to find something to play this on. We still haven't found anything to play it on. In fact, I'm not actually sure where that box went to. But yeah, it had a whole bunch of stuff in there from Brad from his first haircut with his little curls. And I remember when he got his first haircut, because his mother told me when he got his first haircut, during the Ballier fire, it talked about the Brahms family with their 3 sons and 1 daughter, and their 2-year-old daughter. Yeah. His mother took him, as soon as she read that in the paper, she took him down the next day to get a haircut. That was his first haircut, and there were these little curls in this little paper envelope sitting in this box of his first haircut that was done when he was about 2 years old, because he got called a girl with their 3 sons and 1 daughter in the newspaper when they were talking about the Ballier fire. So that's how I remember when Brad got his first haircut, and that's where those curls were in this box. So, but there was this recording there, and we still haven't been able to listen to the recording of Brad's first cry in the delivery rooms. But, you never know where the recordings come from. A photograph preserves someone's face, but a recording gives us something completely different. We can hear their accent, their laugh, the rhythm of their speech, the expressions that they use, and sometimes either the voices of other family members talking in the background. If you have old family recordings tucked away on cassettes, reel-to-reel tapes, records, home movies, or other formats, find out what's on them. Label who is speaking and when the recording was made. Consider having older recordings converted into a format that can be preserved and shared with future generations. There are a lot of companies out there that will take your reel-to-reels, your cassettes, your videotapes, records and all of that, and convert them into digital format to help preserve them, because the more you play them, the more degraded they get. I've got a cassette tape that I did years ago of the first album I ever bought. But now when I play it, it's so scratchy. But I am fortunate that somebody has gone and put that record that I first listened to, because it was by Rob Guest, one of my favorite stage actors. His very first album was called Dedication, and it was the first album I bought. It cost me $4.99. I was probably about 13 or 14 at the time when I purchased it. And so I recorded onto cassette so I could take it with me and not have to worry about, because I had my little portable cassette player, which was about this long, about this wide, about this high. It's portable. But I played it so often that the sound degraded on it. But now on YouTube, I can go and find that album on YouTube, and I can sit and listen to it whenever I like, and I don't have a loss of quality of the sound or anything like that. So if you have those recordings, find them, get them converted. And this way, we've got digital recordings of them, which is going to preserve the sound that's there. And you can keep the originals and keep them preserved, but you've also got the digital copies that you can use and share with other family members as well. Better still, start recording of voices around you now. Ask parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, and other relatives to tell a story. Ask them about their childhood, their parents, their first job, how they met their spouse, or a family story that they never want forgotten. Don't worry about creating a perfect interview. Sometimes the laughter, interruptions, and conversations that wander completely off topic become the best parts. Hang on, it's in my pocket here. Just a second, got to get my phone out of its pocket. Take your phone, put the voice thing on, put it on, lay it down on the table in front of you, and just let people talk around you. And you never know where the conversations are going to lead. You've got the original recording. It's raw. Later on, you can go and take out those sound snippets, those stories, make them separate recordings, and preserve them that way. You can do things like there is a company called forever.com. It's a company that I use to preserve all my photos and videos on there. And I can leave access to one person. So when I pass, they've still got access to everything. Still in the process of sorting everything. But the good thing about Forever is that you purchase cloud space. And that is your cloud space. It is completely private and personal to you. I can allow people access to certain albums. for example, when we had my brother's 50th, he wanted access to his photos. So I gave him access to my Forever account so he could go in there and he can have a look at the photos and things like that. And other family members can as well. And I can start uploading my ancestors' photos into there too and make their own albums. And not only just have photographs in there, but I can put in copies of scanned certificates and photographs and all of that sort of stuff into their own folders. In the folder, I have like the name of the person that's in there, and in the parentheses, I put their birth year to their death year. And then there's an information thing that you can put a little more information in there about them. So this is a way that I'm preserving family history for them as we do this. With my clients, I set them up with their own free account and give them the access to that account. So any documents I find, I put into there. I create little folders for each person. With a free account, you get 2 gigabytes of space, and it's up to them if they want to expand that or not. But I will put in there the albums of create albums for each person and put in there the documents and stuff that documents and photographs that we find along the way. So there is a way to preserve that. And you can also, there's a video package that you have to purchase on top, but it allows you to keep videos on there and play them back. So there is that. Another one is, what's another one? Having your own YouTube channel and making it private. So that only those that have the link can go and watch the videos and stuff. And you can do that by playlist as well. You can set up a playlist for each person, have your videos in there, and you can just do sound videos as well. It's just like put a picture up of the person and have the recording of them talking going on, and then just their faces there. I do this with my on my Celtic Fern Studio YouTube channel. It's not private; it's open to the public. But rather than creating musical videos to go with the songs, I just have up there there's just a picture on there, and they can go play, and that picture will stay there, and they can hear the song. And I did that with like with the song "No Matter What Happens," which is about the night that Brad passed. There is an actual photograph of the whiteboard that I talk about in the song, and that has always been part of the story. This is the story about how I came up with that. No matter what happens today is always super fantastic and sparkling. There's an actual photo there of the whiteboard, and you can see it there, and it just stays up the entire time that you listen to the song. So you can do things like that. If you wanted to, you could link several photos together while the person is talking and create a video out of it that way. And you can use something like Canva to create that. And I have done that with Canva on a couple of my songs, where I've gone and taken stock photographs and stock videos and put them together, piece them together to create a video for a song. And that one is on, which one? Have a super fantastic sparkling day. And it goes out with the coffee mugs. And so people get a card with the coffee mug, and then there's a QR code they scan, and they get to see that video. So there's different ways that you can preserve things, and with video, without video, just putting a picture there and running the voice behind it. There's all sorts of different ways. If you want any further information on all of that, just go up here and scan this QR code and book a discovery call with us, and we can show you some of those resources. And I'm trying to think if I have the resources. I think I have the resources in the description. If not, they will be. If not, they will be. So your homework for today is find out whether your family has any old voice recordings. Who is speaking? When and why was it recorded? What type of recording equipment was used? Ask older relatives if they remember the first time they heard their own voice played back. If you don't have any family recordings, choose someone and make one today. One day, the sound of a familiar voice may become one of the most treasured pieces of family history that you could ever preserve. And I will tell you this, to be able to hear people that I know that have passed, to be able to hear their voices, that's something very special. There's some videos that I have, and my older 3 grandsons love it when I do this, when I go there. And they will often ask me to play certain videos for them, which is videos of my oldest grandson, because he was the only one that was around when Brad was alive. The other 5 came after Brad passed. But out of the older 3, they often want to see these videos with their papa, sitting, playing with their with their older brother. And the older brother just sits and he gets kind of, kind of shy and kind of smiley a little bit and trying to remember that time with his grandfather. But they want to see those videos and hear his voice for a man, and the younger two for a man they've never met, but who is one of their ancestors. To be able to give that to my grandsons is just awesome and amazing. See, one of my favorite videos that I have of my late husband is him sitting with his grandson. The grandson's sitting at the table in his high chair, and Brad's sitting there next to him, and they're about this far apart. And Brad is going, singing a little song to him and doing the bub, 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 bub. And it's just a very cute moment between grandfather and grandson. It's just a priceless moment. I absolutely love that video. It cracks me up every time I see it. I get teary-eyed with it. I get emotional just thinking about it. And that was recorded like 9 or 10 years ago. Yeah. Actually, I think it was recorded the year he passed, so 2017. So it was recorded 9 years ago. But that video still touches me because it was such a special moment between the two of them, and I just happened to capture it on video. A lot of the times I get back home and I'm thinking, oh, I should have taped that. Oh, I should have pulled the phone out and recorded that. I kick myself a lot of times because I miss out on recording a lot of stuff. And I get home, oh, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. So I'm trying to remember to record things, especially when we start talking about memories and that sort of stuff. But that was just one of those moments where I just happened to have my phone in my hand and I happened to hit record on the video, that I caught that special moment between grandfather and grandson. That has been, it is a favorite amongst the grandkids video for me to play for them. So it's in my favorites on my phone. So whenever they ask about that video, I can pull it out and play it for them. Take the time to record those voices, because once those people are gone, their voice goes too. So why not preserve it now with their story, them telling stories? Let us know in the comments below about any stories that you uncover, and go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening. And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.